Three, two, one. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Super Bowl 59 through the NFL Alumni. I'm Bram Weinstein, represented by Casera. Better is possible. This is the one and only Paige Spiranic.
Thank you for having me.
How's Super Bowl week going for you?
It's been amazing. This is my first time really doing Radio Row, and it's so impressive.
Yeah, nonstop.
Nonstop. Yeah, nonstop.
You're used to the big events, though. What is this experience like for you to be around the biggest moment around the NFL season?
It's so different from golf. I mean, just to see so many people here and from all different walks of life, it's been really impressive, and I hope one day that golf can get to this level. We're always talking about growing the game of golf and reaching new demographics, and this is obviously the pinnacle of what everyone wants to reach to.
And you've been kind of building a brand that way. As you think about trying to build a brand through a sport, how do you see getting from A to B and building golf to where you'd like to see it?
When it comes to my brand, I always think about just being authentic to myself and creating the content that I love to create, and people who are like-minded or like my content will always come.
Yeah.
I don't try to appeal to everyone because that's really hard to do, and I feel like you lose your core audience in the process. And sometimes having a smaller brand that's more engaged and really loves your content is better than trying to reach as many people as possible. So my approach is probably pretty different than what most brands are trying to do, but that's just really what has worked for me and keeping my community as strong as possible.
And the sport wants to work with you directly. Do they partner with you through all of this?
Yeah, it's been really cool. So there's been kind of a big boom of golf social media in the industry, where it was kind of separate, but now we're all working together, and I'm on the Creator Council with the PGA Tour to help develop new ideas, and it's really amazing to be involved in that way. I feel like we have a lot to offer, and they obviously have a lot to offer us as well, so it's really mutually beneficial.
So what do you think the NFL gets right? Why is it so big? How do they market themselves so well?
I mean, football is just such an amazing sport, and it just has so much action. I think that what golf lacks sometimes is that it's just very different. It's over 4 days, it's long, it's, the tortoise versus the hare. And it's worth it in the very end when it comes down to the back nine on a Sunday of a major. Yeah. But you have to have that patience to get to that point.
That's right.
And sometimes it's just not as instantly as gratifying as some other sports, that it's always constantly high energy and there's so much going on.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's really good that other leagues do is that they know that it's entertainment. And so even if you're not a football fan, you can still go and really enjoy the experience of just being at a football game, where golf, it's a little bit more quiet. And I think bringing in a little bit more excitement would help people come and just want to hang out, because it's great. You're outside, you get to walk around, there's so much to do there. But if you're not a golf fan, sometimes it's not the most exciting thing to want to go for the first time.
But in the digital medium, the made-for moments are there.
Yes.
If you're willing to get around to them. Is that what you are talking about?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, again, it's like the back nine at a major, or even going to the WM, which is the biggest party on grass. There's really fun moments in golf, and I think some people just let their misconceptions of golf being old and stuffy and conservative and all of these things stop them from really getting into the love of the game and what makes it so special. And it's getting there, and it's growing in such a positive way, but the narrative and the storytelling around what golf is and what it does and who's in the community is really important.
You're not just a creator, you are an athlete. And we were talking to NFL athletes, they probably look at you and say, I want to do something like that, I want to brand myself, I want to be in this. What would you tell people who want to get into trying to create their own personal brand?
I mean, social media has been absolutely incredible for my life, and when I first started doing this 10 years ago, there was no path to be a social media influencer in golf. That wasn't a career path, and so I've just kind of paved my own path and have tried to figure it out along the way. But it goes back to what I said earlier, is authenticity is the most important thing. Yeah. I think when you see other successful creators, you feel like you must do exactly what they do to be successful, and it's actually quite the opposite. People connect with you as the person, and that's why they choose to follow you, not because you're pretending to be someone else. Yeah. And I think with athletes too, they have so many unique, interesting stories to tell, and using their platform to give a behind the scenes look is so incredibly valuable. And I think they see it as being more work for them or opening themselves up to criticism. but it's really a platform to use your voice. And so either if you're getting criticism for something you said or something you did, being the first one to talk about that situation on your platform is so incredibly powerful. And if athletes can use it as a tool for that reason and see it as a positive, I think leaning in would be a lot easier.
I think you have to understand attention cuts both ways.
Yes.
All right, last thing. Who are the great NFL golfers?
Oh, gosh.
You must know them all. Who are
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crossover. I would say Tony Romo is known for being one of the best golfers
he was
who played.
competitive in the pro-ams.
It's the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks are all so good, and it's the pitchers and the quarterbacks. They are so good at golf. But there's a lot,
Because
really
they got to think through everything before every play, therefore they think through every shot.
Exactly, yeah, 100%.
Paige, it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.